Detectives are driven by the puzzle, and in their obsession, reveal cracks that are filled by some pretty bad habits.
I'll just have another one of these, thank you.
I do not have to hide my booze. I am not an adolescent.
All the evidence points to the contrary.
Seems like almost everyone is in the frame.
Oh, dear.
It's getting a wee bit of a cliche. You know what I mean? That every detective has to have either a broken marriage or a drink problem, or mostly both, actually.
The TV detective has now almost an identikit range of problems. You know, Jane Tennison smokes too much and drinks too much. Cracker likes betting on horses and fruit machines and, you know, drinks. And they all drink, you know. Really, there should be a whole branch of the Priory just for TV detectives. And it's because, well, why would we be interested in them if they were these steely, flawless human beings?
Addiction and ruptured personal life comes with the territory.
My dear Holmes.
The man who started it all was Sherlock Holmes, a product of more genteel times, but Conan Doyle's detective had the original Class A drug habit.
What is it tonight? Morphine or cocaine?
Watson is quite vociferous in speaking out against drug taking.
I speak not only as your friend, but as a medical man. How can you risk such damage to the great powers with which you have been endowed?
Well, as a doctor, he would have been more aware than most of the dangers of drug taking. He would have been, and of course Conan Doyle was a doctor, and so he would almost certainly have come across it in his private practice.
Of course, this crime is an inside job. Modern writers draw inspiration from real-life police.
Well, drinking was part of the culture of certainly of the police service that I joined. And we drank on a good job, we drank on a bad job, we drank on indifference. It was part of that kind of culture in the 70s and 80s. And it was difficult. It was difficult because there were, it's that inner conflict of wanting to be part of and what contributes to being part of, and perhaps doing things that you didn't particularly want to do, but nevertheless did them, for which we take full responsibility. And, you know, for me, drinking became something that I struggled with.
DCI Jane Tennison's private life and addictions gradually overwhelm her over the course of 7 series. It's a classic tragedy where the dark burden of crime drives her into an ever-deepening chasm of addiction until she wins, but is consumed.
In each one of the different series of Prime Suspect, she's there with another boyfriend or partner. She's a bit of a serial monogamist. She needs desperately to be in a relationship, but never seems to be able to make them work. At the same time, as the show goes on over the years, she becomes more and more dependent on alcohol. In the final series of Prime Suspect, she nearly is fired, forcibly retired, and messes up the last case that she's on because she's so dependent on alcohol.
Jesus, Jane, you've got to look after yourself. What's the matter with you?
She knows that she's disappearing into her own darkness, but she can't do anything about it.
You never made a mistake? You never been ashamed?
What were you ashamed of, Tony? Because you like a drink? Is that what it is? You had more than one beer in that car, didn't you? I mean, I can tell you like a drink because you smell of alcohol right now.
No, that's not me. That's you.
At least Jane Tennison could retire to a meeting of Alcoholics Anonymous and a nicotine patch. One TV detective who carries so many addictions and personal complications, the body of a normal man would buckle. Only Robbie Coltrane could carry off fits.
The one character that is so riddled with weaknesses and so messed up that he can barely even function is Fitz in Cracker. He's addicted to nicotine, he's addicted to alcohol, he's addicted to gambling, he's addicted to women, his marriage falls apart.
It's sherry, for God's sake, Judith. I wouldn't drink sherry
like
if you paid me.
You smoke like a chimney. If you carry on like that, you'll die.
Don't flush it! You've cracked a U-bend.
All the way throughout it all, he's still charming. He's still an absolute swine to everyone around him at the same time.
You're a really bad joke. Jimmy Tarver wouldn't even use you.
And it's that contradiction, the fact that he's clever, funny, charming, intelligent, and a complete mess-up that makes him such a fascinating character to watch.
Who's to blame? Are TV detective addictions a fictional device based on police reality? Or are writers like Cracker's Jimmy McGovern threading in their own addictions?
Every single character in that series has come from his mind, and it's come from him as well. So you get a character who's very self-destructive. He's a gambler, he's a drinker, just like Jimmy McGovern has said himself he was.
Cheers. Cheers.
And writer Colin Dexter is guilty of the most heinous crime.
Very nice.
He killed off his own creation. Morse paid the ultimate price for his writer's guilty pleasures.
I enjoyed smoking and drinking very, very much indeed. Two of the biggest things in life for me. People often ask me why I killed Morse off. I said I didn't kill him off at all. I say he died of natural causes. I mean, he drank a bottle of Glenfiddich single malt scotch every day. He tried every day of his life to pack up smoking, which was a great pleasure for him. He didn't take any exercise on principle. And he was never going to be an old bones at all.
Come on, drink up, Lewis. We've got thinking to do.